Ah, welcome back to Dungeons and Chronics. Thank you for being here. Happy Friday the 13th. You caught me in the middle of a project here. Um, Basically, what I'm doing is trying to make brick dungeon walls. I'm eventually gonna shrink them down a little bit. I want the figures, the miniatures, so you can see them. So I'm gonna shrink them down a little bit. I don't know how. I'll be up to here maybe. That way when, if they're behind the wall, you can see them. They're in a room or something like that. As you can see, I already made a couple, you know. I'm still cutting bricks for my epic castle build. It's a struggle. So, I tend to do some bricks and then jump into something else a little bit. Otherwise, I'll just go crazy. But luckily for me that I found a couple of pieces like this already cut these size, and I just run a line down through the middle with a ruler just to get, some sense of the middle. And then what I do is just, line bricks. I try to do it with the razor blade a little bit because if you do it with the pencil first, it pulls a lot of these things and it comes out looking a little wonky and awkward. And if you do it with a blade, it comes out a little cleaner. So what I'm doing to this one here is just going over what I did to give it some depth. So I give it some depth here. Just going over the lines to make them deeper. What I try to keep in mind, if I make this brick a long brick, to make it a long brick here, I make this a short brick, make it long over here, so it could go around, so it could look like, it's individual bricks, I did this one a little bit like cobblestone. I was trying to do it, not like bricks, and it's gonna look a little weird with these. These I'm trying to do a little more like bricks, but that's okay. I'm not gonna mind anyway once I do it. I got a couple already, that I'm working on. And that's what I'm gonna do today. I'm gonna break all these up and hopefully paint them, and start gluing some bricks on my epic castle wall hopefully tomorrow. I'm not really, nothing's in my schedule for tomorrow, so hopefully I'll have a lot of time or enough time to glue a lot of bricks. I did cut out all the window frames, the small window frames for the castle, and I glued some in already, because once I put the window frame, I could just go nuts, putting all the bricks. Because I don't want to, put the bricks and then have to put the window frame and adjust it. So once I got the window frames up, I could put the bricks around the window like I did with the door. I don't know if y'all guys seen the video, but if y'all didn't, check out the epic castle build. And you see I put the door frame and the staircase and a few of the bricks. I got all the corners to one side laid out already. And then I'm gonna start working on the inside. I got a nice idea for one side of the building, the bigger, thicker side. I don't want to say it just in case I don't do it, because I do that a lot. I get an idea and then I get a different idea that I think it's either better or easier, and I just go with that. But yeah, I'm working on making some kind of steps or stairwells for the inside, because I want to do the inside of the castle too, you know. So the inside is going to be, I guess, playable, and I want to make steps because it's going to have at least 3 floors. Each building should be high enough to have 3 floors, even though one building is shorter than the other. But okay, you see, it's just lines. And if you're not good doing lines, you know, you could just use the ruler. You know, use a ruler, use even this, you see? Let me show you here. You see? Then you can make the same line here and then just turn it into 2 bricks. See? This will be 1 whole brick. See, this is why I tell you, you should always do it with a razor, because when you do it with the pencil, it doesn't come out even and it tears the foam. There's some foam that's better than others, but I don't really know. You should watch Jeremy at Black Magic Craft. He knows a lot about XPS foam. I don't know too much, and like I said before, I find all this foam. You know, I haven't yet went somewhere to purchase, you know, some XPS foam. I do buy a lot of foam board because that's what I work with. But any foam you see like this, you know, like this, wherever I find it, if I go somewhere after they doing construction, I look around. It's another piece I found. I'm already taking chunks from it to make my bricks. I want to show you this building real quick. This is one of the denizens of Barovia. I don't know his name. If you can see that. Yeah, sorry about the shaking hands. Let me see. I'm blind, I can't see this. Vladimir Horngard. This is Vladimir Horngard from Curse of Strahd. I think he's like one of his right-hand man or something like that. I'm not too sure. But I wanted to show you this building I was working on. I bought this, no, I'm sorry. That's not true. This was a Christmas gift, I think, or a birthday gift a few years ago. And I paint the bottom. It was just gray, you know, and I had it for a while and I just didn't paint it or didn't do anything with it. And I decided to paint it. I had bought this this paint called African Violet, and I knew I was gonna use it for this once I bought it. So that's what this color is here. That's African Violet, and a little dry brushing of gray. That's what these highlights are here. Most of the building is it's dark gray, I think, with storm cloud gray as highlights. I plan to put a doorknob here. I was planning to put a gate over it, but I don't think I'm gonna do that. This is just brown, you know. I paint the tips brown. Here I'm gonna plan to paint the edges gold, and hopefully this little thing here, it's like a jewel, I'll paint it red or something like that. I think it was yellow, but I'm gonna paint the edges gold and paint this little jewel red. I didn't know if I should have painted the dragon. This I glued on. This here, this little cross I glued on. All these little toothpicks I glued on here. I glued on the dragon's tail, these dragon wings, and this dragon head. The rest of this stuff came with the building, this little shield and the gargoyles and these little things here. But the wings, the dragon head, the cross, the toothpick, the tails, I added that. And this was a dragon from a thing called, it was like a little bundle I found when I first got some physical minis, because the first minis I had were paper minis. And it's figures like this. It's called Fantasy Creatures. I found it on Amazon for a few bucks. There, if you could see, you know, scale comparison is not really, you know, scale for 28 millimeter, you know, 28 scale. You know, y'all guys gotta forgive me because I don't know a lot about, you know, the miniatures, the size, and, you know, stuff like that. But as you can see, it's just a little big, but I guess it could be like a Goliath skeleton or something like that. But statues, you can make them. I don't know, whatever. You guys are creative. I painted a few. Let me show you. And you gotta bear with me with my painting. Any miniatures you see that I paint, I paint with craft paint. You know, I don't have no fancy paints. What is it? Army painter or something like that. So I don't have like paint to really paint miniatures. You know, so I just do the best I can with the little I got. And I don't think it's too bad, you know. I just painted it all black first, then a vanilla and a white, and then a vanilla. So that's what I did. And then I used a brown, a tan, and gold for these little things on his belt. Silver for the shield with a little brown. Same thing for his spear. Silver for his helmet, and red for the flary feather thing on his hat. I believe that the generals in the Roman army, you know, the generals or the captains were the ones that wore these hats. But to my knowledge, they were this way, not like a mohawk. But you know, I guess these could be tomb guards. You know, I'm also working on this cemetery. I'm gonna put it on a little thing like a diorama. So I got tombstones that came with this and two little statues. I'm working on making like a dead tree, and I'm not gonna use these brick walls, but I'm gonna make something like this with like a cemetery gate in the middle, you know. But I just wanted to show y'all guys this, and I'm currently working on this. I'm working on a few projects, you know, and I don't know if you guys do that, but I'm trying to stop doing that. Just, you know, bust one out at a time instead of having 2 or 3 projects I'm working on. I'm still working on the thing with the can. Have y'all seen my short? It's just a little, I'm finding a little difficult to cut this. I need to cut this here and then sand this down so I could get some paint. I'm probably gonna buy a spray can of some kind of primer for this, because I don't think this is gonna take the craft paint too good even if I sand it. But what I'm trying to do with this, I didn't want to spoil it. but a few people been asking me. So what I'm trying to do with this, I believe is called the apparatus of Avernus. So if y'all know about that, it's like some steampunk scorpion mechanical machine, I guess. And that's what I'm trying to convert this to. Anyway, I've been rambling for too long. I hope y'all guys have a happy weekend and excuse me, stay safe in this Friday the 13th and enjoy and God bless and get the crafting.